get straight into it because we won't play any games here on the Naked Truth. Okay, tell the audience what's your sexual preference.
My sexual preference is I do like girls. I have a girlfriend, and we've been together since 2015, July 2015.
Sounds good. So you're a part of the LGBTQ community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what obstacles have you faced being in that community?
I mean, I would say one of the biggest obstacles was with my family.
Really?
It
Tell
took
us
them
about it.
a long time to accept the fact that I was interested in a girl.
Okay.
I never really thought that I would be interested in a girl. It was just when I met her, we clicked.
The vibe.
The vibe. It was just like, I'm like, oh my goodness. I told my friend, I'm like, well, I like her. She was like, I told, because we met through my friend.
Okay.
And so she was like, I told you was going to end up liking her. I'm like, no, I really like her, like for real. And then from there, we just like, we just clicked. And ever since then, like, and then at first, like I did tell her, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, this is not me. Like, I'm like, I got to fall back. And she was like, all right, cool, whatever. But then I'm like, I started missing her or whatever. And then I had made a little status. And she asked my friend, like, oh, was that status about me? And my friend was like, yeah. And then that's whenever we just start talking again. But that was definitely one of the biggest obstacles, was just getting my family to really accept the fact that I was interested in a girl.
Okay, let's take a step back. So you're saying your girlfriend now was your first attempt at dealing with the female.
Yes, I never thought I would see myself with a female.
Wow.
But it just happened. And
so you had no feelings like this before for anyone? You just was like, wow, this feeling is different.
Yes, it was. I never talked to no other girl. Like, I never even played around with no other girl. Like, it was just like, it just happened.
Wow. Okay, so tell us about how that conversation went with you coming out the closet, telling your parents, like, this is new for me and this is my preference here.
Well, the first person I told was my mom, and she was just kind of like, I mean, my mom kind of looked at me like, what? Like, she's like, what? And I'm like, but I kept it real with her.
Right.
And, I mean, it kind of went from there. Like, I mean, everybody had their own opinions about the situation, right. But I was like, I mean, I don't really care. Like, you can't help at the end of the day who you like or who you attract or who attracts you. Like,
I respect that.
At the end of the day, you got to go off of how you feel. Like, because at the end of the day, the only person that has to be with that person is you.
Right.
So
you sound really brave, because I feel like most people that I spoke with about same-sex relationships, they are always so nervous about telling their friends and family, and you were like, this is what it is. Do you accept it or you don't? I love that. That takes a lot of strength to do that.
And it did. It was hard. Like, I went through a lot. Like, it was a lot. It was definitely a lot, but I think it was me standing so heavily strong on it. Like, and I went up against a lot. Like, I was going at it with my siblings. I was even going at it with my mom, and I hated that because I'm like, I don't want to feud with my mom. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're very close to your family.
Yeah, I'm just like, I can't, like, it's either y'all accept it or y'all don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? And as time moved on and as time went forward, people accepted it because they had no other choice. Like, you got to stand your ground. And that's what I did.
How long do you think it took for your family to finally accept it?
Whew. I would say some years. I would definitely say some years.
But you stood your ground.
Yeah, I did. I really did. And it was hard to do that. It really was hard to do that. But, I mean, I was just like, after so long, I was just like, I mean, it is what it is. I don't care no more. Like, I don't. Either y'all going, you know what I mean? And y'all's not going to disrespect my partner either. Like, right. I don't go for none of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of me feuding back and forth about stuff like that too. So it was definitely a lot, but I'm happy that we're to a point where, you know what I'm saying, they accept it. Right. And it is what it is.
Right. Because, I mean, your family loves you. So at one point in time, I'm sure they're like, this is, if I want to be in a relationship with my kid, then I have to accept her.
Exactly. And that's another thing, because it was messing up the relationship between us. And I'm like, if this is my preference, just let it be my preference. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let it mess up the relationship between us, because at the end of the day, I love my siblings. I love my mom. Like, I don't want us feuding over who I decide to be with. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I would never feud over who my siblings decide to be with. Like, I'll listen to the issues and stuff and problems they go through, but I'll never be like, I don't like them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, if that's who they decide to be with, then you got to deal with that, no matter what y'all's going through.
About respect.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So when you came out and told them your feelings, you're also dealing with your own feelings, because this is a new type of emotion, of feeling, everything for you. So you're dealing with that as well.
Yes, and I was definitely, like I said in the beginning, I was like, like, this ain't me. I was like, and I definitely.
How did you feel? Like, was it scary? What emotions were you feeling?
Yeah, it was that, and I was definitely thinking, like, you know, what is my family going to think? Like, I'm thinking, like, what is everybody else going to think? And I think that I was more so going off of what everybody else was going to think more than myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was like, I got to fall back. Like, you know what I'm saying? But then I was just like, I like her. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't help that we just clicked. Like, it was just a natural bond. Like, we didn't force nothing. It was just natural. And I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, like, what? Like, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. But I'm glad that we stuck it out, because look how far we came.
Right.
Like, even with all the trials, tribulations, whatever, like, we're still standing. So it's like, that must have been for, you know, a reason.
Right. How long have you guys been together?
We've been together since July 2015. So in July, it'll be 8 years.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. So
yes.
Have you ever dated a man before? Because you said you...
No, like, I played around with boys and stuff, but I never, like, was in, like, a real relationship with one.
So you never, like, had sex with a guy or anything? So you never rode a horse? Nothing.
No.
Wow.
No. No.
You knew. You just like, this is what I want.
Yeah, I've never had sex with a man. No. Ever.
Okay. Have you watched the Jeffrey Dahmer series? And how do you feel about that, far as being in the LGBTQ community?
That show, it was sickening. Honestly, it was sickening. And when I was watching it, it was just like, how could a human being do this to just innocent people? And honestly, I was disgusted. Right. I was very disgusted. And I'm even more disgusted because people are making jokes about it, like on TikTok and social media. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, this really happened to people. Like, you know what I'm saying? People really lost their siblings, their kids, their family members, whatever they were to them. And social media is just, you know, they're recreating videos of the whole situation. It's sickening. Right, it's really sickening.
So what I mean by that, far as being in the LGBTQ, excuse me, you guys, if I messed that up, no disrespect. So with being in that community and being as though he attacked people of that preference, you know, gay men, and especially gay black men. How do you feel being a part of that community if they were being targeted at that point in time?
I mean, it's sad, because I feel like gay men have it way harder than gay women. I feel like it's easier for gay women to come out because it's a trend. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are bisexual. They do men and women.
It's like fun.
It's fun
to talk about.
But men have a harder time with that because it's like, you're a man. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's very different.
Right.
And a lot of those people probably weren't outspoken with their sexuality. But then again, they might have been because they were in the gay bars and stuff like that. But, yeah, and I feel like stuff like that still happens to this day. I mean, like, people are getting killed. Right. I mean, like, there was this documentary called The Smiley Face Killers where, like, gay men were being found in rivers and stuff like that. Like, so it's still happening.
So from what you're saying, it sounds like, you know, not only do black men have to deal with certain stigmas and situations like that, but they're also being targeted if they're gay as well.
Yes.
So it's hard for black men and black gay men.
Yes, it is. It's extremely hard because a lot of men don't want to expose that side of them. They're scared to come out because it's a lot that comes with gay men. Like, just being honest, like, it's very different from gay. It's very different from gay men. I mean, sorry, gay women. It's a lot different for sure.
Wow. Courage, respect to, all the gay men out there, be you. I respect you guys because, like we just talked about, it's just so hard for you to just be
Yes.
yourself,
Hmm.
and then you getting targeted and bullied and things like
Yeah.
that. Everybody just respect people's wishes, their
Yes.
preference, and, just live life with just love and respect.
Hmm.
So let's go into the next question. What is something you wish to tell your younger self?
I would I would tell my younger self to just, I don't know, I feel like in that situation, like I was just up against everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of felt like at times I was by myself.
You were alone.
You know what I'm saying? There was times where I was sitting cry by myself. I'm just like, dang, like everybody just is targeting me. Like everybody's just coming for me. And I'm just like all about something that at the end of the day, if that's what I prefer, that's what I prefer. Like
Right.
you can't, I don't know. So I would just tell my younger self like to just be you no matter what.
Be you no matter what.
Be you no
Stand your
matter what.
ground.
Stand your ground no matter what. And just like go for what you want to go for. Go for what you believe in.
Right.
That's it.
Right. I respect that. Okay. What kinds of things might a person who is lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender go through when coming out?
Oh man, being judged, being alone, not having nobody to talk to, not having nobody to vent to, especially people who don't get into that type of lifestyle. Like, you know what I'm saying? So those are some of the major things. But being judged is one of the main things
Right.
for sure.
Right. Is that something you experience besides your family? Can you talk about like outside people besides your family? Can you think of
Um,
a time where you were judged or, you felt like you were being basically judged because of your sexual preference?
Outside of that, I can't really tell a time where I was judged because of that. Because like I said, for females, it's so common.
So
So
common.
I feel like if I was a man,
You
it would have been a lot different. Like
Right.
I'd have had people coming at me from this way, that way, this way. But that I can't really tell a time that I
good.
was, yeah. I
Wow.
can't really tell a time where I was like judged outside of that.
Not in school, not going like
Mm-mm.
daily activities.
No.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Have you witnessed anyone else that may be in the same community that may have been judged or disrespected because of that?
Um,
Because I know we talked about a lot of, gay men. Have you witnessed that? And you're like, wow, that's not okay.
I don't know. No, I have never witnessed that. Like, as far as people that I know, no, I don't. I've never witnessed that.
Okay. If you could write any law, what would it be?
We'll just write a law to say, let people be themselves, let people be happy. Because at the end of the day, not being able to be yourself, that's also a mental thing too. Like, it messes
Right.
with your head. You know, people kill themselves behind this type of
That's
stuff.
big, right?
Like, and it's all because they don't have people standing behind them that support them. You know what I'm saying? Whether you agree with it or not, you should always support the people that are close to you because, you know what I'm saying? They're already dealing with enough, especially gay people. Like, you're dealing with people outside of the people that are close to you
Right.
coming for you. So just stand behind them, be their support, you know?
We should have some laws to protect people in the community to
Mhm.
where they're not targeted and being victimized and, murdered. And I think
Yes.
people need to look into these crimes a little bit more than they
Mhm.
are because, like you said, there's a lot of, people coming up missing in the community,
Yes.
transgenders being,
Oh,
victimized and
yes,
hurt
especially
and
transgender.
missing. And it's like I wish people would look more into these crimes. And not saying
Mhm.
that you aren't, but I just wish that they were just more protected.
Mhm.
So
Sure.
we have a long way to go.
Yes, we do.
So since you're in a same-sex relationship, what do you call yourself? Like a lesbian, gay? Like what is the best pronoun for you?
I mean, I would say gay.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm asking
would,
because some people have their own preference where,
yeah.
you know, you want to respect their wishes, you know,
for sure.
and their pronouns and things like that. So gay is fine with you to say, okay, do you want kids?
I do. I definitely do want kids because I feel like I'd be a bomb dope mom. Like, I feel like I definitely would. That's something that me and my significant other has definitely talked about.
So how do you go about that? Is that like adoption?
Well,
like what do you?
I want a belly. Like I want to carry.
So how would you go about that?
So it's a process, you know. You got to go through like sperm banks and stuff like that. It's definitely a process, like and it costs.
Yeah, I heard it's very expensive.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So that's really the main part, is really getting into like the details of it,
right?
For sure. And we've definitely talked about adoption too. Like I don't mind adopting a kid. Like I think that'll be dope too. But I want to go through the experience.
So you, like you said, you want to carry it.
Yeah, I want to feel the kicks, and you know, I want to go through the motions, the trimesters, and all that type of stuff. I definitely do.
Right. Is this something you and your partner agreed on, or is it something? Like, I don't. She's like, I don't know.
No, it's something that we definitely agreed on. We talk about it all the time. Like we definitely do. But I'm at a point where I don't want to have any kids until I'm set. Until
That's smart.
You know, I'm in school. I want to graduate. I want to have everything set in stone so that my kid will never want for nothing.
Good.
For sure.
That's smart. I respect that. I feel like you and T are really good with kids.
Oh,
You are the guys where everybody,
we love the kids.
Guys like, oh, I'm going over on TT.
Yes. So, we love the kids.
Yes. I think you guys would be great parents.
Yes.
And I wish you guys the best on that journey.
Thanks, Corey.
Okay. So speaking of kids, have you guys talked about marriage? Because you just said you guys are hitting the 8-year mark. So what's that discussion like?
I definitely, I talk about that all the time. Now, that's something that she doesn't talk about. And I don't really know why. Like, I don't know if she's scared of marriage. I don't know if, like, I don't know what it is. But I always be like, oh, there better be a ring on his finger before we hit 10 years.
When you say that?
She just be like, she'll just laugh it off or, like, play it off or something. But I'd be like, I'm for real. Like, because I feel like I don't want to, like, I feel like 10 years is a while to be together. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we done went through a lot. You know, we've worked our way up, accomplished certain things that we've been wanting to accomplish for a long time. So I'm feeling like, you know, we need to step this up a notch. Oh yeah. Like I wanna walk down the aisle. I wanna do all that. So for sure.
From looking at everything, it seems like you're more open with your sexuality and your preference. I feel like your partner, because I know both of you guys, is more closed in. So from me hearing what you're saying, not saying I feel like she might be a little embarrassed, but I don't think she stands her ground like you do.
Yeah, and I was gonna, and she's very
private.
She's private. She's private. She's definitely private, and she just has a hard time opening up. And I'm a person that I'm very open, like. You know, if I feel some type of way about something, I communicate that with you. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I try to get her to talk about, but she just doesn't. And I don't, like, we've considered, you know, therapy, like a lot of different stuff. I'm just like, you have to let some of that stuff that you have in out. Right. Because it's not good to leave it in because, you know, you start to push people away. You know what I'm saying? And you got to. I'm like, even if you don't want to talk to me, talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be me. If you're not comfortable with it being me or whatever, or, you know, your siblings, whatever, talk to somebody because there's a lot of stuff bottled up, like for sure.
Has she agreed to therapy since you put it out there?
There was a time where she did, but we never followed through with it. Just because we just never really looked that deeper into it. But there was a point in time where she was definitely like, okay, we could do this. Like, you know, I'll do it. And I'm just like, okay, well, we could do it. Like, I'll do it with you. Like, I'm not going to have you do it by yourself.
Right.
You know, so.
Is that a discussion that you want to circle around to and get back to? Like, hey, where are we at with this?
Yeah.
You know, with marriage.
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like that's why a lot of people get divorced because they don't really, not that they don't really know their partner, but they don't really take the time to really dig into each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's why things start to happen within the marriage. And then that's why people renew their vows because stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I definitely would want to, before marriage, heck yeah.
All right. So, what is your outlook on therapy? Because it seems like you're all for it. Because we talked about it on one of my episodes about therapy and how
Mhm.
Black people, well, people in the Black community, or they shy away from therapy.
Yes.
So, do you think that is the same aspect as people in the community as well, like in the LGBTQ community as well?
Yes, I think that, and just as a whole, like a lot of people are embarrassed of therapy. Like they don't like a lot of people are embarrassed because of that. And
How do you think that they're embarrassed?
I don't know, because some people look at it like you're like, why do you got to talk to somebody, or like, I don't
Like
know,
a
but
weakness.
I feel like therapy has helped a lot of people. Like therapy, like there's people that be making statuses on Facebook like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I go to therapy,
I love when
my
I hear that.
therapist. And it's just like, because sometimes it's hard to talk to people that know you because they're more easy to judge you. If you're talking to somebody that don't know you at all, they're going to sit there and listen to you because they don't know you. So
Right.
they want to know everything about you step by step by step. And, you know, honestly, like, if I was a person that had a lot of things bottled up and just wasn't comfortable with just talking, period, I would seek a therapist, because they help to bring that out of you. You know, you could cry with them. If you're not a person that likes I know a lot of people don't like to cry and show emotion. And sometimes you have to do that. Like
You
sometimes
gotta
you
get
have
it
to
out.
do that, even if it's on your own time, if it's just you in a room and you just cry. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to do that.
But then also, when you're dealing with somebody that you know and you're speaking about your emotions, sometimes they can start talking about themselves and you
Right.
can't really express your
Mhm.
feelings. But when you're going to a
Yes.
therapist, their job is to be
It's
listen to you.
Yep, to be
You
there for you.
can't always go to your family or friends because sometimes it's not always about you. You know,
Mhm.
and they go into their problems and you feel like, dang, they're not wasting my time.
Yep. I
So,
agree. I
yeah, if you
definitely
need it,
agree.
get it.
Yes.
So I definitely agree. So what challenges have you experienced with being in a same sex relationship, for as like being a girl on girl? Because we have so much emotions. So being
My
with two girls with emotions, like how is
um
that?
that it's crazy, because for one, we're both quick to pop. So she's quick to pop, and then I'm quick to pop back, and then, you know, we're arguing back and forth, and that turns into fighting.
Mhm.
So it's just like, it's definitely hard when it comes to that, because I'm just like, dang, I can't never say nothing to you without you just getting mad. Like sometimes I just be like, I'll just communicate something. She's like, "What, I'll be like, but I'm the same way. So it's definitely hard when it comes to that, because like females, we have a lot of emotions.
Right.
We both get periods. I mean,
Oh my
everything.
gosh.
It's just like everything is. We're the same.
Yeah.
We're the same people. So it's just like, yeah, it gets crazy. It definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you do to like calm the situation down?
Well, what helps us is we just won't talk to each other. Like, she'll go in the living room.
Space.
I'll stay in the bedroom. We won't talk to each other for like an hour or whatever, and then we'll be cool again. I think that's what works with us, because trying to address the situation is just both of us. Like I said, we're just arguing gets you nowhere.
Right.
It gets you nowhere. It solves nothing. You got two people arguing back and forth, screaming at each other. Nothing's
Nobody's
being
listening.
heard.
Mhm.
Nothing's being heard because y'all are both screaming at each other. So I feel like the best thing is to really just like come to a medium, and maybe whenever we're calmed down, that's when we can talk about it. Because trying to talk about it right then and there in the moment, that just blows way out of proportion.
Right. So realizing we need a break. Let's
Mhm.
have space, and then
Yes.
we can reconvene after that.
Yes, for sure.
I agree. So in a same sex relationship, well, I say for your relationship, because everybody's relationship is different.
Right.
You know, who pays for what? When you're out for dinner, shopping, like who pays for what?
Oh, that's pretty much 50-50. Like sometimes I'll pay, sometimes she
relationship
takes on the
50-50.
bill. Like it's not, we don't have stuff set to where it's like, okay, you pay for this
Okay.
and I pay for that. It's, sometimes I'll be like, let's go out to eat, it's on me.
Right.
Or vice versa, let's go out to eat, it's on me.
Right.
So that's definitely a 50-50 thing. We don't really have things that we just you know, you pay for this, I pay for that.
Right.
We don't got that.
So 50-50.
For sure.
I respect that. I was always interested. I'm like, I wonder who pays for who. So in your relationship.
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So what do you say for people that have this thinking that just because you're bisexual, well, not because you're not bisexual, but like some girls that are like bisexual or gay or whatever their preference may be, they automatically think they're into like threesomes. Like, but I have a friend or somebody I know, and they're like, you know, bad, but they're like, I'm not into threesomes. Just because I'm bisexual does not mean I'm into threesomes.
Right. So that topic, like I've played around with that like before, like, oh, we gonna have it, like, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, I don't think that I would be able to do that just because I don't think I would be able to share my person with
I feel you. I'm like that
another
too.
person. Like,
they're like,
I would just
person.
I would be like, because, you know, some people take that and some people, the other person, they catch feelings. Right. Like, there's situations where stuff like that has happened. It's just like, I don't know if I could deal with all of that.
Yeah, that's too much emotion.
It is.
Yeah, like one of my guy friends had reached out to me one day. He was talking about how his girl wanted to bring a girl into their bed. I told him, do it with somebody outside of y'all relationship. Yeah. Somebody that don't know y'all, you know, because if it's a friend, it's going to get a little weird.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I wouldn't want to, honestly, that's just like us having a threesome with one of my friends. I feel like that would be weird.
Yeah,
like,
because it's like, after you see him, what do you do when you see him the next day?
Like, hey, girl. Like, even though we just had it, like, no. I wouldn't do it with somebody, like, no. But I've definitely played around, like, with that before, but I don't think I could do it. Like,
I'm not with that either.
I don't think I could do it because I know how I am about her. So it's just like, I don't think
how she is about you too. Yeah, it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a girl fight.
I don't think I could do it. That's why I'm like, yeah, no. Like, I've played around with it before. Like, oh yeah, we going this, that, and the third. But no, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm not with that. So those are some things I feel like people use to put a spark in a relationship. So what do you guys do to keep the spunk in your relationship, the romance? Like,
so holidays and stuff like that, we definitely go all out for each other. As far as like, I mean, we do different things, like go to the games, we go out, like take little quick little vacation trips and stuff like that. I feel like that definitely keeps the spark because I be want to get out the house. Like, I already work from home. I don't want to sit in the house all day. Like, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like we got to keep that fun as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we definitely, and we do things for each other out of the blue. Like, sometimes she do things for me and I don't even be expecting it. Like, I be like, what? Like, you did this for me? You got this for me? And then vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's definitely a part of our relationship that's like very, very special. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we do special things for each other for sure.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. So, you know, you're saying take some time outside of the house and be spontaneous and things like that. Have you guys ever ran into a situation where you guys are together and it's apparent that you guys are, you know, with each other? Have you ever had somebody try to come up to you and try to talk to you or try to talk to your partner? And it's like, okay, this is awkward. Or they might not even know you guys are together.
With me, no. And I think with her, no. Like, when she see people that she know out, like, they always speak to the both of us. Because everybody knows we're together. We've been together for so long, so everybody pretty much knows me. So it'd be like, oh, hey, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Tiana, hey. Like,
so even
it don't be like a... But sometimes, I will say sometimes that we have been in the bar, like we've been out. She could get a little friendly, you know, she's in people's faces and I be looking like, I be like, all right, I'm gonna let it go. But then, you know, she start getting too friendly. I'm like, all right, you taking drinks off. People like, come on, man. But I be like, no, if I had did that, you'd have been mad. Like, this, that, and the third. But
you wait till you get home to have these conversations or do you confront her when she's doing it?
Well, actually... There's been times where I've been in the bar and I straight up was like, I straight up addressed it right there because I was already drunk. So at that point I didn't care. But there was also times where, you know, next day when we slept it off and we both woke up and was sober, I would address the situation like, no, it wasn't like that, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay. But I don't know. I don't like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like stuff like that. Like, why you in her face? You out with me. Right. Like, why you in her face? Like,
Yeah, because one thing I notice about you guys when we're out or just hanging, looking on the outside of it, most people won't realize that you guys are together because T is really not a affectionate person.
Yes.
So you really can't confirm like, oh, that's her girlfriend.
Yes.
We know that, but she's not affectionate. She's not on you. She's not hugging you. Things
And
like that. So people don't know you guys might not even know you guys are together.
Exactly. And that's the type of stuff that I was explaining to her. Like, she'll just branch off on her own. Like, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just like us being out. And then there's a group of, dudes over here. And I just branch off with those dudes and just leave. Like, how would you feel?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I try to explain that to her. Like, you can't do stuff like that because that's not... I would never go out with you and then branch off into a group of dudes or a group of other females and just leave you. You know what I'm saying?
Then people's like, well, who the hell?
Yeah, who are you with? You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with that. She's definitely a very friendly person. Like, and I'd be like, you're just too friendly.
Yeah,
like sometimes. You're just too friendly. Like, you're in this person's face. You got this girl buying you drinks. You got this. And I'm just like, well, she bought a drink for both of us. I'm like, I could buy my own drinks. I'm not looking for nobody to buy my drinks when I go out. Like,
Tiana will get you, man.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, my goodness. So she's definitely very friendly.
Yeah.
And that's a part of her that I don't like. For sure. I do not like that. I'm just like, nah.
You're like, no.
Nah. Nah. I don't like it.
So name a positive thing that you like about your partner?
A positive, I like a lot of things about her.
Look, you all smiling. What? Tell us.
She's just a sweetheart. Like, she just, I don't know. And I think that I kind of, like, in a way brought it out of her because in the beginning.
I agree.
She wasn't like on Valentine's Day, she'd be like, I don't like getting people cars. I'm like, what? Like, I love that type of stuff. Teddy bears, flowers, cards. And at one time, she came home and she bought a box of chocolates, all this stuff. And I was bawling. I'm like, because it's the first time she ever did something like that. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So as the years went on, she definitely became a lot more romantic. Like last Valentine's Day when we came after the gym, when I came in, she had a little rose petals and bath ran and stuff. I was like, girl, the whole house was done. I was like, what? That made me feel just special. It made me feel so special and just so good because I'm just like, she doesn't do stuff like that. So when your partner goes out of their way to really pay attention to the little things, it's the little things that matters to me. I don't want no, you ain't got to buy me shoes, clothes, none of that. It's literally the little stuff, the time, the attention, the affection, everything that matters to me. Like, that's all I be wanting. I could care less about shoes or a bag or whatever.
Oh, so you want that Louis bag?
I do, but I mean, I ain't really pressed about it. Like, I want the little stuff. That's what matters to me. So when she does that type of stuff, it is... Yeah.
You're like,
I'd be like, wow. And some of the stuff, like the one time for Valentine's Day, she went all out. I was like, T, on that. Like, wow.
T seems like she gives good gifts.
Oh, yes. I was like, I mean, she went all out. I was not expecting none of that either. Like, I wasn't. But when she does the little things, oh, yeah.
Little things count. They count, guys.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, because people don't think about that. Like you said, there are materialistic things,
stuff.
And they don't pay attention. And I do believe when somebody really loves you when they go out of their comfort zone to please you. Because from what you're saying, she wasn't really that type of person that really was into affection or romance. But when you put it out there like, hey, I like this kind of things, and she was like, okay, I'm going to start trying to do this.
Yes. And it went little by little, like, you know what I'm saying? And it got...
It's the effort.
It's the effort. I'm like, that's what counts. Like, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes she would just go off on her own. Like, the one time she came into work and bought me some flowers. Like, I'm sitting at my desk. She come in, like, put it from behind her back. I was like...
she didn't.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that?
Yes. I was like, you got me. I start crying. I'm like, stuff like that just makes me cry because I'm just like... It just makes you feel good. Like, it makes you feel special. It makes you feel like people... like. You know, they're paying attention to what you're really... Pay attention, y'all.
Pay attention to your partner.
Real, pay attention to your partner because, like, you know, you never know what your partner's really thinking inside their head.
Right.
Like, you know, they're wondering if you love them, like
Right.
if you really care about them,
Right.
because you're
Sometimes
just
they
not
need-
showing it. Like, you can say it all day, like, I love you, I love
Right.
you, I love you. But if you're not showing that,
How would they know?
actions speak louder than words. So it's just like, if you're not showing me that you love me, how am I supposed to know you really love me?
Right.
You gotta put it into action.
Right. We want to feel that.
Yes. So
we want to feel that shit.
when I get to put it into action, I love that. I really do.
I love that too. Okay, so we're going to end off with this. I want you to finish this sentence. Dear future wife. What is something you want to tell your future wife?
Their future wife, I want us to grow together even more than we have done before. I mean, already. I want us to accomplish things that we may not have already accomplished.
Okay.
I want us to buy a home, raise a family, just live life. I want us to travel the world.
Right.
I want us to get our passports and stamp them.
Yeah, gotta have them stamps.
Yes, I want us to do it all. Like, I just want to, I don't know, you only get one life. So I want to live it up and do everything, try to do everything. And I don't know, I just want to be happy.
Right.
I want us to be happy. So.
You hear that, future wife? Well, I want to thank you for coming in and sharing your experience.
Yes.
I really appreciate that.
Yes.
So,
Thank you for having me.
See you next time.